Today we're going to talk about the volume of prisms and cylinders. And in order to do that, I think we first should review the difference between area and volume. Area is what we use for 2D or flat figures. So if I was to find the area of this square, it would be length times width, 1 centimeter times 1 centimeter. This would be 1 centimeter squared. Be squared because of the 2 units. And remember that 2-dimensional figure and a 2 there. Now the difference of that is volume. Volume is the amount of space an object takes up. And we use volume when we measure 3-dimensional figures. And volume uses cubic units. So if I was to take the volume of this little cube here, it would be 1 times 1 times 1, which would still be 1, but then it would be in centimeters cubed because it's a 3D figure. So I measure it and I put a little 3 there for cubed. Okay, so let's look at some examples of some 3D figures. We're going to start today with prisms. And the formula for the area of a volume of a prism is the volume equals the area of the base times the height. And the base, if you remember with prisms, is whatever shape the 2 parallel sides are. Now I have 2 sides here across from each other, and they are a rectangle. So in this case, I'm going to use my area formula for a rectangle to find the area of the base, then multiply it by the height. So the base of this rectangle has a length of 10 and a width of 6. So I'm going to multiply, and remember the volume for, or the area for a rectangle is base times height. So I'm going to multiply 10 times 6, and then to get out of this formula, I'm going to measure by the height of the prism, which is 8. So it's going to be 10 times 6 times 8. 10 times 6 is 60 times 8, and 60 times 8 comes out to be 480. Now let's check our units. It is in centimeters, and remember it's centimeters cubed. So that is the volume of this rectangular prism. Remember, we take the area of the base and we multiply by the height. Now the same formula works for any shaped prism you have. So for example, here is a triangular prism. And I know it's a triangular. I call it a triangular prism because here they are. My 2 bases, which are parallel and across from each other, are triangles. So it's a triangular prism. But basically it's going to be the same formula. Volume is the area of the base times the height. Only this time for the area of the base, I have to use my triangle formula. Remember, the formula for the area of a triangle is 1/2 times the base times the height. And then I'm going to multiply it by the height of the prism itself. So let's plug these in. It's going to be 1/2 times the base. In this case, the base of my triangle is 8. Times the height of my triangle, which is 9. And then I will multiply it by the height of the triangular prism, and that height is 16. Okay, so that's the first step. Let's do 1/2 of 8, which is 4. That gives me 4 times 9 times 16. 4 times 9 is 36 times 16, and when I multiply 36 times 13, I get 16. I get 576 centimeters. And again, it's centimeters cubed because it's volume and it's a 3D figure. So that's using the same formula, area of the base times the height. I can find the volume of a different shaped prism as long as I remember my formulas for the bases. And one last example would be the volume of cylinders. And as you can see, it's still the same formula here. Volume is the area of the base times the height. In this case, look at our shape. Our base is a circle. And there's our 2 parallel sides, and the area of the base is a circle. So now I have to remember my area formula for a circle, which is pi r squared. Remember? And I'm going to multiply that times the height of the cylinder. So pi is 3.14. Now the r in this formula is for the radius. Well, this is not a radius I have here. This is a diameter. So I need to remember that each side of this is a radius, so the two sides of it are 4. So I'm going to plug in a 4 and square it, and then multiply it times the height of the whole cylinder, which is 12. 4 squared is 4 times 4, so we have 3.14 times 16 times 12, and 3.14 times 16 is going to give me 50.24. I'm going to multiply that by 12, and when I multiply it, I should come up with 602.88, and remember, again, centimeters cubed is my volume for the cylinder. So there you have the 3 formulas for prisms, different shapes of prisms and cylinders, and it's really all from the same formula. So that is the volume of prisms and cylinders.